Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I told you guys today we might have gone to Meijer, and I guess my dad was actually planning on it. When he came home, he was like, oh, are we going to Meijer today? And I was like, I didn't actually finish my list because he never said anything. And I also realized too, he has to go, like they do weightlifting for the high school for football, like every day after school. That's what Jack goes to, and that's why normally he's not home until like 4 o'clock. However, on Wednesdays my dad goes because he's one of the coaches, so he goes to like oversee kind of like the lifting and stuff like that. I think there's one of the coaches that is like puts it in place kind of, or like schedules the things that they're supposed to be doing, like the different types of, like they do like a whole big regiment kind of thing. And so I think he might be there every day, but I think there's a second, like, you know, coach or teacher or whatever that's normally there like at least one of the days during the week as well. And there might even be more than one. Like I think the head football coach was there as well, because my dad said that they ended up, I'll tell you guys this in a second, but they went to go look for the what's it called, the trophy that Jack got his name put on for like the best sports, you know, like football sportsmanship and leadership and academics kind of like award winner. And so they were looking for it because Jack's like, I don't know where that trophy is. He's like because the main hall kind of where they have most of the like sports, you know, like what's it called, displays and stuff like that. They have like a football one, they have one for like every sport, but Jack was like, I don't know where they keep that. They actually keep it in a separate whole like thing. And so anyways, they were going over to look for that. So I think he was there maybe too, but again, I'm not entirely sure who's there every day, but my dad normally winds up going on Wednesdays. So although I would really like to go to Meijer on Wednesdays, I realized too that that really wasn't going to end up working. And tomorrow it's only going to be tough because my mom is going for her like procedure tomorrow, and so because of that my dad is taking her, like she's not going to be able to drive, so he's actually taking off work so that he can take her tomorrow. However, I don't know entirely when they're going to be back. The other thing is too is that if my mom is in, you know, some discomfort, which I think I was telling you guys too, it's not like a full-on really surgery, but it's also like, you know, she's going to be in some discomfort. Most likely it's not supposed to last, from my understanding. It's supposed to be somewhat short, but again, it could be like a day, 2, 3, 4 possibly, you know, that she's just, you know, in some discomfort. So she is, you know, like especially when she comes back, might not be able to, you know, barely be able to do a whole ton of stuff. So we probably would have to wait though until somebody else is here to help her again, if, you know, the dogs are barking and or somebody comes to the front door, or, you know, she needs to, you know, she needs something to eat, or she needs something to drink, or, you know, needs her phone charger, you know, like plugged in, that kind of stuff, you know, whatever it might be, you know, just like help getting up and getting around to get those things. And she, you know, we don't want to leave her here by herself. So, you know, like me and my dad most likely can't go until we get Jack tomorrow, which won't be until 4 o'clock. So, again, we possibly could have gone today, but it probably wouldn't have ended up working out really anyway. The only thing I realized though is that because my dad is taking off work tomorrow, he didn't really need to go to bed as early as like he normally does. Like I think he went and took a shower by like 9 o'clock or later. Normally he's like takes a shower like 6 or 7 o'clock, so he was like kind of like, again, up later today, so he could have possibly actually squeezed Meijer in afterwards, was what I kind of realized after the fact. But again, it's a little unfortunate, but we're most likely going to do that tomorrow. But that was the thing too, I finished and stayed up to do all of my grocery list. I ended up doing Meijer, Tony's, and Caputo's, and I have Jewel's coupons clipped, and I've looked over their ad. I didn't like finalize it, like type it out, but I did with the other 3 grocery stores. So we're probably, it'll be a toss-up actually as to what we're going to do tomorrow, because my dad was saying, he was like, well, let's try and go to whichever store is the shortest. I think tomorrow, or no, maybe he meant Friday. I don't know. Honestly, it looks like both stores, there's not too much to get. Like Meijer, I don't have really that much to get, and then Tony's and Caputo's, which we do combined on the same day, I don't have much to get at those stores either. Like Tony's, compared to the last couple of weeks, they do have some pretty decent sales, not a whole ton of stuff going on though, but I actually probably wind up spending more money at Caputo's and probably get a few more things, but most of their stuff is produce. Tony's has like a couple of other like coupon deals and things like that, but they also do have some pretty decent produce deals as well. So either way though, we're most likely going to one of the stores tomorrow, or one or two of the 3 stores tomorrow, and then I don't know, the other one on Friday. And then on Sunday, we'll be going to Jewel and Aldi. However, you know, like I was saying, everything's changed around a little bit. We could have probably went today. But like my dad was saying too, he's like, well, I would really like to try and go to Meijer like earlier in the week so that we can do like Tony's and Caputo's. Then on Thursday, we can have Friday and Saturday pretty much open. And also too, if we potentially are going, we're going to try out a new church, I think, not this weekend, but next weekend. And because of that though, we are looking at like changing things around also too, because if we end up going to church on Sundays, we'll most likely have to move Jewel and Aldi's to Saturday, which is completely fine with me, since my mom's not working weekends anymore. Like that's why we can end up doing that kind of stuff, because it's telling you guys how like we didn't have a lot of time on the weekends to get things done, but again, we can kind of move things around to whenever. So because of that though, we want to try and keep, again, Friday nights on the weekends free and Saturday as free as possible, and or Sunday, you know, free for the most part too. We don't want to have like a whole ton of stuff like we go to church, then we go shopping, or, you know, again too, we do all the shopping on Saturday, like try and split it up so we can go sometimes during the week. So we're talking about doing Meijer potentially. The only day though is that it would probably work out before Thursday is on Monday, which is fine with me. I just have to try and again get the grocery list done by Sunday or Monday potentially, because their sales start on Sunday. Their ad goes live I think on like Friday though, so I can look over their ad to see what they have, but they don't have the coupons go live I think until Sunday, so I can't necessarily see, like, unless it's like advertised in the ad, I can't really see what they have until Sunday. So again, we might wind up changing things around a little bit, because like Tuesdays, I told you guys, normally is my parents' date night. They end up going out, go to a movie, go to dinner, or they'll just go and do something, or sometimes they'll just get takeout and watch movies at home, but it's kind of just their night. And then on Wednesday, like I said, my dad has, you know, he goes to the weightlifting, which we can always do afterwards. It's just a lot to kind of cram into one day, so potentially if we don't end up going to Meijer on Monday, we might always be able to switch it to Wednesday. And again too, during the summertime, that's not going to be I don't think really a problem. I think though that they do have, which wouldn't, but no, it would be in the afternoon. I think they're doing summer camps, but maybe they're doing summer camps during the week, during the day. So I don't know. Anyways, so we, like I said, we're possibly changing some of that stuff around. But the other cool little story about Jack's trophy is actually that our old neighbor ended up writing, she used to work at the newspaper. I think it was the same newspaper my mom worked at. The job my mom just had, that she's had for like almost the last year now, was the same shift I told you guys and everything like that she had when I was little. Like I was only a couple of years old. So then after that, she ended up actually working for a newspaper. And this lady that used to be our neighbor, she lived like 2 houses down from us. I think she also wrote at the same newspaper, or similarly, like she knew my mom through the newspaper, I think, in some way, because we moved to this house, my mom knew her already before, like, you know, we were neighbors. So I think that's the case. I'm not entirely sure, but like I said, so then my mom, all this time later, she ends up getting this job, again, the same shift and all that kind of stuff as the one she had before she worked in the newspaper. So, but she ended up moving a handful of years ago, but she still writes like a blog kind of column thing or something like that for the like the city. I don't, like I said, I don't think she works for a newspaper anymore, but like I think once a week or, you know, something like that, she ends up writing like sort of a piece about something that's going on in town. So the piece that she ended up writing on was about Jack winning the trophy. So she actually ended up sending us a letter, since again she doesn't live at the house 2 doors down from us anymore, but she ended up writing a letter to us like congratulating Jack and realizing like, you know, oh my goodness, like, you know, that's, you know, again, my mom's son who she used to work with and all this kind of stuff. So in the article, she actually ended up adding a little blurb at the end, because the trophy that and Jack ended up getting his name put on is named after, I was telling you guys, a Vietnam veteran. Well, actually Vietnam, he was killed in Vietnam. So the trophy is named after him, and my mom ended up writing a piece on him back in '99, before Jack was even born. This was before Matthew was born. I was just, you know, again, a couple of years old at this point. My mom ended up actually writing a piece on him about like a local, you know, local town hero. Again, this was much after that, but my mom just ended up doing that as like a piece she ended up writing. So she ended up adding a little blurb at the end, you know, about that my mom actually wrote this article back in the day about him, and then Jack ended up winning that award. That was, you know, again, his award that, you know, it's been like awarded since the 70s, I think, like 74 or something like that. So it was already established when my mom was writing the piece. It was just kind of something that she was, you know, like doing. I think it was like maybe a Veterans Day or like a Memorial Day, something like that, you know, piece that she was writing. And so, like I said, that was really cool that, you know, it's kind of like that full circle thing. But then too, again, our former neighbor ends up writing you know, again, a piece for the city column kind of thing, just about like Jack winning that, and then even mentions my mom in there too. I was like, that's so cool. But again, it's such a cool thing, it's such a cool piece that, you know, is like a little piece of history now that like we're kind of connected to. And then again too, like all these people, like it's funny, we don't live in a super small town. We're kind of in a smaller town, I guess, for like the surrounding towns that we're in. But it does always, like when things like this happen, it's like I'm always reminded that it's still kind of a small town, like, you know. And my mom has been here since, she's lived here since she was in like elementary school, I think, or something like that. My dad actually lived in the city. So, and then though, like in his late teen years or early 20s maybe, when like him, around the time he met my mom, he ended up moving into, you know, the town we live in. So my dad even too has been, and then they, I guess for a short period of time before I was born, ended up living in the town over from us in an apartment, 2, I think, different apartments, and ended up moving back here when I was born. And so I've actually never lived anywhere else than here. So that's why, like, again, it's just that whole kind of community thing, like, you know, people that we've grown up with, and, you know, even people my mom grew up with, like, you know, it's funny, one of Jack's really close friends, my mom ended up going to school with Jack's really good friends, mom, and like it took my mom a little while to figure out, like, they started playing football too, like a while, like when Jack was in youth football. But my mom originally too was like, I think I know who that is. And like I think she was younger than my mom though too. So like then she kind of figured out like it was her. And so like I said, this is really cool. Like we do kind of have that small town kind of, you know, like I said, feel, and like just the connection to a lot of the people and the events and that kind of stuff that's here. And, you know, now my dad, you know, coaching high school football for the town, and, you know, like all that kind of stuff is just like, is one of those things that just make you feel really connected, you know. And so like I said, it reminds me a lot of times that even though we're, you know, again, in a bigger town, it's not like we live in, you know, like a rural, small, you know, couple hundred people, like, you know, it's still a pretty big town. But you know, again, it's just that connection to those people that, you know, kind of always reminds me of that. Again, that's one of the really cool things about, you know, like I said, kind of living here, is that we're not in a huge giant town, but I like the size of our town. I like where we are, you know, as far as like, you know, the people and community and all that kind of stuff. It's very special. So anyways though, guys, I'm going to take a shower now and get to bed. I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all very soon, shiny pieces, tomorrow. So bye, guys.